Or had a problem that annoyed you so much that you were like, I got to figure out a way to fix this. That's where I was. I looked at our numbers from last year, from 2025, and I had a line item that was over $19,000 that didn't actually do anything. I'm like, I could have bought $19,000 more of Amazon stock or Nvidia. And instead, I just had it poof away into my businesses and it wasn't doing anything. The other thing that I located was over 1,000 hours of one of our most valued team members that it was just like spinning wheels. It was like they were having to run on a hamster wheel. I'm like, we have this amazing team, and over 1,000 hours of their labor was ineffective, inefficient. And when you have A players on your team, A players like to win. All right. So that was the seedbed, if you will, of the issue and the problem that we had, that I specifically had. And that's where I went to AI and I'm like, I got to fix this thing. Something isn't working. Something isn't right. And something's got to give, as the movie says, the movie title. So in that context, I set to work. I bought every AI out there. Maybe like you've got a subscription to ChatGPT. You're dialing up, NotebookLM. You are playing around with N8N. You are like experimenting with OpenClaw. You've got Claude, Perplexity, Manus. You've got all of them. You even have Alter AI in there in the mix. And so what I found myself doing was going from AI to AI. And I'm like, it's a lot of fun, right? I was having a blast. Then I got my token bills and I'm like, I'm still not getting the results that I want to get. So that is the pain point that caused me to put together what we are now building out as buy.com. If you're not already on the wait list, you can sign up for the wait list. We have applications for people who want to be in on the founder crew, which is what these weekly shape up calls are designed to do. I'm not trying to take over the AI world. I'm just trying to solve a real business problem for myself as a family business where we've got some real estate stuff. We have some online business stuff. We have some consulting stuff. We have a little e-com in there. And we've got all these things that I'm actually trying to oversee with an A-player team. And that's why we built it. So let's go ahead and go in and talk about what we focused on this week inside of Brand Crew AI. So let's go ahead and go into the dashboard. So if you are not inside of Brand Crew yet, let me actually take you to the homepage. So this is what the homepage looks like. It's brandcrewai.com. Like I said, if you're not in our crew right now, you can literally put in your first name, your email address, and your texting mobile number. And then you just request early access and you will go into an email list. You can also click on down here, even before you're a member, and you can share feedback. You have a question about what the process looks like. You can read through this whole sales page. The goal really was, are you showing up? Is your brand showing up on all the AI models as the way you want it to show up? And I'm talking brand. I'm coming to this from a brand builder standpoint, okay? This is not, we do have agents in here. We have agents and integrations and all the stuff, right? We got all the integrations that you can make. We got agents to write your blogs and your emails. But the real secret sauce of this is really building out that brand voice. So let's go ahead and talk about what we shipped this week. So one of the things that, again, I was struggling with was we have all these different brands and I have different team members on different brands. So right now I have a personal brand, McDonald, that I'm in the process of building out. I have a decorating, like a premium decorating training brand. I have over 35 plus years in the premium interior design space. I'm not an active designer, but I do have a brand that helps seasonal and event type designers learn how to level up their identity so that they can attract premium clients. It's a micro niche. It's a passion project of mine. And it is the literal catalyst that made the difference for me. So I have that brand. And then we have other brands. And I just was modeling this last week. If you want more, you can watch the progression of all of our weekly shape ups. But the whole concept is you have a brand and you can have up to 4 team members on, you basically add brand team members to your brand. So you can all work on your brand at the same time. Now, for me personally, one of the things that I discovered was if your brand voice isn't super dialed, what happens is you can have all the emails go out that you want. You can have all the viral AI content, social media that you want. But if you haven't locked your brand voice for a premium ideal client, whether you're in real estate or e-com or consulting or you B2B manufacturing, whatever it is, you're not going to get the resonance that you need to get conversions and sales. So what we worked on last week was really behind the scenes in terms of shaping and storing the data for your brand. Now, is it okay if I talk about a little bit of a data structure? Okay, just a data structure. What happens when you are looking to get found by AI in whatever your micro niche is? We have something that once you design your brand voice, then we run an intelligence report. And what you're looking at right now is an intelligence report on a test. What happens is your data can be out there, but if it's not organized properly and stored properly in all of your brand assets, from your Google profile, your Bing Webmaster Tools, the way you're writing your blog posts, and different code structures that sit both on your website, in your emails, in your blog, reader, the end user doesn't see, but the AI scrapers do. What happens is you're not going to get found. And that's what we worked on last week. So just as an example, so the way we store the data is what the team has been working on. And we use something called Supabase, where we are structuring the brand data so that when you want to go put your agent, whether you're using our agents or somebody else's agents, or you're using your integrations versus somebody else's integrations, your data is easy to locate and it's super organized. Right now on our test brand, we ran this test intelligence report, 0 index results for, quote, brand from an idea. Just think of that as a test one. Or the happiness method in live research, no owned web properties, blog posts, or third-party mentions discovered. Brand name is generic and non-distinctive, making organic discovery nearly impossible without exact match content and structured data. This is what I want you to see, structured data, because that's what we built and worked on and delivered and shipped, as they say, this week. I have a team member working on doing nothing, but when you build out your brand inside of Brand Crew AI, your voice becomes it has structured data, okay? And you can just see as a sample. So every single one of these signature phrases that you would have for your brand needs to actually be indexed in AI search with a particular code attached to it, so that when people are Googling or you're writing a blog post or things like that, it's super easy to find. All right, I'm going to stop the share for a second and just do a quick teach on this to just give you the context of what we shipped. I'm going to use a story to illustrate this point. Now, you can see my dog in the background. Imagine this. Imagine you have a closet, and it's this big walk-in closet. This closet is awesome, right? It's got the center island. It's got the drawers. You can put all your jewelry in the little boxes. It's lit from the inside. This thing is dialed. It's gorgeous, right? But imagine that instead of having this closet beautiful, you know where everything is. It is dialed. Your shoes are lined up. You got beautiful cedar shoe trees. Everything is perfect. Imagine instead of that, in this beautiful closet, this thing was a disaster. Everything that you had ever worn from the time you proverbially started wearing clothes or proverbially started building your brand, you just dumped all this stuff into that closet. It was everywhere. It was like there were dirty towels from when you bathed, there were bathrobes on the ground, there were slippers, there were old shoes, there was a pair of boots that didn't have boot things in them and they were falling over and they're dusty, and it's like all the stuff that you've ever worn, you didn't do laundry, and that thing was a disaster. Okay? All right, got the picture? Right now, friend, that's what's happening with your data, with your brand in the AI scrapers. They're like looking, and because you haven't structured your data properly, specifically for the brand that you want to build, they can't find it. They're like, I don't know what the entity is. This place is a mess. We don't have access to this. They can't find it. Okay. That's what we shipped this week. An organized, clean closet for everything that you're building out with respect to your brand voice. Okay. So that's what we did this week. Like I said, if you have not hopped on the waiting list or filled out an application, go over to Brand Crew AI. Not for everybody. I am not like building out a bunch of super agents to go out and do your agent work. You got lots of options for that. In fact, I have a friend who's built something, and I will be happy to send you over to their agent thing. Okay. They've got a monthly subscription where you can literally connect your MCP in, and you can send the agents on the way. What I'm focused on is that front door to your brand. What are you building? Who is it for? Is your brand voice locked? And instead of having to go to Claude, have Claude design all your brand out, then double check it with Perplexity, and then double check it with Manus, and double check it with ChatGPT/Anthropic, and then run it through Alter AI or whatever else you want to do, see what NotebookLM thinks about it. Instead of having to do all that, I just created a dashboard, and I'm like, let's go take a quick look at this again. It's basically like, I got a brand, okay? I want to add a new brand, and I'm going to call this, let's see, I'll call it the Grounding Path. That is actually one of our brands, okay? And I'm going to create the brand. And when we do this, what happens is it's pulling the questions that you need to build out your brand, okay? So I can autofill my brand, or I can save and continue. I'm going to save and continue. Here's where the rubber meets the road, guys. So we basically pulled all of the things that you need to know about your brand so that we can pull from Perplexity. We can pull from all the AI models, but we can also pull from you. Who's the face of your brand? What kind of a website are we building? Do you have the brand Trinity? Do you have your face of the brand, your affiliate and partnership manager? And then do you have your operations lead for the brand? Save and continue, right? What's the voice in the story? What's your core voice for your brand? What's your writing style? What's your sentence rhythm? Okay. What's your perspective? Are you my story? Are you second person? Are you third person? Are you a community-based brand? What's your unique selling proposition? What's your system? What's the named method? What's your transformation process? What's your contrarian belief? What's your driving mission? Who's your enemy? Who's your villain? Who's your internal enemy and your external enemy? What does the market already sold your ideal client that didn't actually work? What's the cost of inaction? What happens if your client doesn't do anything? What does it look like? What's the dark chapter before you got your breakthrough? What was the turning point? The moment everything cracked open for you? What happened after the breakthrough? What's the new identity? You've likely heard of that process of you actually have two identities, the before identity and the after identity. What's the proof? Do you have any proof? How many years of experience? How many clients or students have you served? What are your credentials, certifications, and training? Any media features and press? What are signature phrases, words and phrases that are distinctly yours, words to never use, tone modifiers? Save and continue. Who are your people? Who is your ideal client? What is their deepest desire? On and on. What is your archetype or motivation? What is the archetype of your brand? What's the motivation style? Save and continue. What's your offer and proof, right? Do you have an offer stack? Do you have a proof layer? Like all of these things, when you're building out a brand, especially for the online space in the age of AI, we need to actually know these things. We need to have answers for these things. And every single one of these answers should have structured data. Your data should be stored and structured in such a way that it can be pulled for your agents, your AI agents who are going out and doing that work for you. And that's why I built this. Now, it is definitely in process. Again, we are not in the business of sending out agents. Like I said, I got great friends who have done that, and I can refer them to you, right? And then you save and preview. Obviously, right now, there's nothing here for the grounding path. The point is, when you go into your brand, you have these steps that need to transpire before you can actually begin to create the content that's going to drive the conversions and the sales. All right. Two things before I finish this week's Shape Up. First, if you're not on the wait list, go over right now to brandcrewai. Actually, let me say it this way. If this resonates with you, if you're like, and I've never quite been able to get my brand story locked. I'm like, I've tried working with Claude. Claude is great, guys. I love all these tools individually. I think they're amazing. They can practically cook dinner for us. But there is an aspect of, do you know what when a symphony comes together? You're not just having one beautiful instrument. You've got this symphonic resonance, if you will. And that's really what I was looking to do. I'm like, we have all these different little micro brands and things that some of them I work in, some of them I just own, some of we got a team on. But I wanted to be able to create a hub where we could really dial in the brand voice, run the market intelligence on it. And then if I need to immediately regenerate a brand look so that we can disperse the content, deploy the content, and make the conversions without wasting the team's time, but really giving my A players on our team the ability to hit the ball out of the park as them, right? And that's the problem that I designed this to solve. It is a working test, okay? It is a working beta group of what we're calling the founder crew. And so if that resonates with you, go over to brandcrewai.com right now, get on the wait list. My team will send you out an application and we'll see if you're a good fit for the founder crew. The other thing I want to encourage you on is if you haven't watched the other videos, you can go ahead and start at the beginning. You can see the progression of what we've been doing. I think we're less than 2 months in at this point. And my goal is to really simplify the brand voice process so that whatever it is that you want to build, you just want to build like a hobby brand, a fun little thing. You just want to set AI out on it. Awesome. Go for it, right? We need your ideas. We need the gifts and the things that you bring. All right. So that's this week's Tech Shape Up. We'll see you on the inside. And next week we'll be on again, Wednesday at 11 a.m. and we'll bring you the goods. All right, guys. Bye-bye.